And we are back. This is Espree Devora with the We Are LA Tech weekly show on Blab, where you get to meet amazing LA Tech entrepreneurs, engineers, founders, like awesome people doing amazing things. And we have great companies in the pet tech space, a space that I'm super unfamiliar with. So I'm excited to get to know more, because anybody that knows me knows that I stop at every dog I see and play with them like crazy. So I love animals. I had a cat myself, and I'm excited to talk to you guys about furry creatures and how technology can be involved with them. So I'm bringing to you Sean, Steven, Toby. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
All right, I'll start. My name is Sean Connect. I'm one of the founders of Pride Bites. Pride Bites is the only place where you can easily, where you can easily use your pup's name and picture to make one-of-a-kind toys for your one-of-a-kind pooch. All you gotta do is pick it, personalize it, and pooch it.
Wait, so I can't get a toy made for me? I can't have like an Espree toy?
Not only toys, but collars, leashes, bed, blankets, everything. Choose from a wide variety of durable products. Add your pooch's name, and we hand draw all the photos of your dog onto our products, and we deliver it right to your door.
That's awesome. And Toby, tell me about Zingy.
Yeah, so Zingy is our on-demand pet services platform. One should walk before they run when they're starting a company. So we actually started as a dog walking company.
Awesome.
We have over 800 dog walkers in Southern California, and a very large community. So basically you can download the app, book a walk, like literally within 20 seconds. Right. And then what happens is we've created a layer of transparency across our network. So when we arrive at your property, pick up the dog, you get a push notification, hey, your dog walker has arrived. While we're walking the dog, you get live notification, track and trace in real time, so you know exactly where the dog is. And dare I say, when the dog does a number 1 or a number 2, you get a push notification and a timestamp, just so you know when and where.
No way!
Yeah, you do.
That's crazy.
And then at the end of the walk, you get a live a report card and a personal notification with a photo to validate and stamp everything, so that you know exactly what's happened, where, when, how, who, etc., etc. We 6-point background check all of our walkers. We train and educate them. We ensure and bond the service, and we're looking to roll out nationally. And we've actually had international interest for licensing in Europe as well. So awesome. We're handling all of that out of here, here in Santa Monica.
And Toby, Sean, and Steven, if you could put in the right-hand side your URLs in case anybody wants to go there. And if you could tell us each your URLs too, Sean, since you already introduced yourself, Sean, can you give us the URL for anybody that wants to cyberstalk as we're talking?
Yes, it's just www.pridebites.com.
Great. And it's spelled traditionally BITES?
BITES, yes.
Perfect. And Toby?
It's Zingy Pet, ZINGY Pet. .com, and all social handles are at Zingy Pet as well.
Perfect. And Petnostic, Steven, the guy who brought this all together, tell me. Go ahead and tell me.
Thanks for having us. So Petnostics allows you to check your dog or cat's health instantly by analyzing your pet's urine with your smartphone. And so it sounds a little gross, but it's actually the same test that veterinarians use in their clinics, and it's this little colorimetric strip that changes colors when the dog or cat's urine gets on the strip. And so we basically took that technology, put it in a cup so that's easy to use at home. And basically, as a pet parent, you get some of your pet's urine, it'll change colors, and you use our app. It'll basically scan the cup like a barcode reader, and basically it'll tell you if your dog or cat has any issues, such as diabetes or urinary tract infections.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
That's really, really cool. You're helping a lot of people. Like I, as I said, I love animals, and so I've had personal experiences with stuff like this, and I would have totally used that.
I actually could have used that last week. My dog had a UTI. I could have used that last week.
That's UTI is definitely one of the things, more common things that gets diagnosed, and then subsequently, I guess you can feed your pet, cranberry treats to hopefully lessen the effect next time.
Yeah.
And so tell me we're going through a 20-minute conversation, and I want to get to know what inspired you to create your business, and how is it different than everything else that exists, and, take a conversation flow, and then why LA, of course. So, I mean, Toby, why don't you kick it off with Zingy? One question I have with Zingy, so you're helping two people, right? Now, anybody could be a dog walker?
Within reason. You have to go through several gates. I think there's about 21 gates that we go through in order to be a qualified Zingy dog walker.
Right, because I mean, we're really passionate about our animals, right? So trusting a stranger to walk that's a really big deal.
Yeah, it is. I mean, part of us, we're in the business of the pet space. We're in the business of servicing, but really our business that we're really in is trust.
Right.
So
totally.
For that, we have 6-point background checks on all of our walkers. We insure and bond our service so that if anything goes wrong to the property, being your pet at home, or the pet while in our care, you're completely protected.
So crazy.
And then we train and educate. We actually, personally speaking, I got 15 years in the pet space. I'm not a tech person per se. I'm a huge tech enthusiast and an early adopter of everything. If it's going to help me not live, but just kind of like, if it's a better way to do things, I'm all in. Right. And so the two worlds crossed here in Santa Monica, in Silicon Beach. And so with that, Zingy was created.
Well, one thing is when you talk about, and this is what I really, everybody watching right now hears where it's like you created this whole security system and qualifying people. That's a really, like when if you're a receiver of that product, it's like, oh, great, this exists. But the person creating that, that's nuts. So how did you go about making sure that both sides of the table were secure and you could become a trust company?
Yeah, I mean, so I think it really leans on some of my teammates who float around in the background here have had, in excess of 25 years experience in the pet space. So when we look at ourselves really as a company, we're really a pet care company. We're not a technology company. And so as pet owners, what do we want to see and what do we want to have when it comes to servicing our pets? And so, it was created off the backbone of being a pet parent. In fact, my whole 15 years exists because I have two amazing dogs. And the industry is relatively traditional in its methods. And as a young entrepreneur, cursed with ambition, dare I say, I just had to find better ways to go about being a pet parent for my pets.
And I want to get back to that, but I want to make sure that we give space to both Sean and Stefan. So Stefan, with Petnostics, like what inspired you to create Petnostics?
So my background is actually in medical devices. And so I actually had a lot of firsthand experience selling these veterinary strips, to the vet clinics. And, seeing how useful they were to these vets, I was like, can you use these tests at home? And, the vets told me, sometimes these tests, they're a little bit harder to read at home. And so the results might not be as accurate. And so, I thought with technology, there was a way to kind of overcome that difficulty. And, luckily, that core technology has been very valuable to these pet parents that are customers that are able to be, better engaged about their pet's health and, to be less worried when something, they see that their dog, isn't quite feeling themselves that day, to do a quick test and see if there's any potential issues.
It's a really, really big deal.
We plan, just for the record, Steph and I have had a high level conversation on it, but we plan to introduce this into somewhere into our service. We don't know where yet, but I think it's such a huge value for pet parents and what you guys are doing at Petnostics that I'm a huge fan.
It's crazy. Having been a pet owner for many times myself, there are very specific life experiences where I would have loved to have Petnostics in my life. It would have been a tremendous help. And Sean, what inspired you?
Yeah, so unlike Stefan and Toby, I don't actually have any background in what we were doing. My business partner and I, we're just dog lovers, and we wanted. We looked around. We each have dogs, and we realized that every product, food, everything was the exact same everywhere you went. So ultimately, we're dog lovers, but we wanted to get out of the. We wanted to make truly original products for people that they can not only design themselves but also customize and personalize. So. My background is in sports marketing. My business partner's background is financial accounting. But we're just dog lovers, and we wanted to start something that was truly unique. So
that's so cool. And LA, are all of you from LA? No, I mean, obviously Toby's from Australia. Sean?
I'm born and raised Houston, Texas, and was living in LA during when I was working in sports, and then kind of started Pride Bites on my nights and weekends until I kind of made the jump.
And Stefan, LA?
I was born in Michigan, but grew up in Orange County, went away for school, and ultimately ended up back, I guess, kind of back home in LA.
So what are the advantages? Like, why did the three of you, not being born and raised in LA, decide LA was the place to build your company?
So dare I say, this season, not such a great claim to fame, but I moved here for the Lakers.
I just went to a Lakers game.
And we've got a battle tonight. But look, Los Angeles for me, before I started Zingy, and I talked to a high level earlier, I had 15 years experience in the pet space. I grew my first business literally from my spare bedroom to 88 countries of distribution. And then my wife said...
I mean, that's amazing. Can we take a pause there? Like, from your bedroom...
Yeah.
You distributed from 88 countries? Is that what you said?
I grew it from my bedroom to 88 countries of distribution. I grew out of my bedroom pretty quickly. But when I saw my business in 2012, we were trading in 88 countries on a monthly basis.
I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, it was.
That's a whole conversation in itself.
Let's talk about that. I mean, we're in the company of amazing talent.
Stay with Zingy.
Los Angeles was, it was one hop to Australia. It was one hop to Canada. It's one hop to Europe, one hop to Asia. And so geographically, it was a good fit for me. I did move here for the lifestyle, surf and snow on any given day. And obviously I'm a huge basketball fan, and to have two teams in LA is great.
But as a startup, like building a company specifically in LA versus San Francisco or New York, like why LA? Like what advantages have you found here growing a company specifically in pet tech?
Yeah, so pet tech is new. And Zingy is an evolution of being a passionate pet owner, and being immersed in Silicon Beach or LA, right?
Right.
So I didn't come here to start something in the tech space. I came here to run my business and be geographically located, but hugely influenced or highly influenced by the culture here in Southern California, in Santa Monica. That after selling that venture and taking a couple of years to just do nothing, and then come back into the world or back into the professional world, huge influence here in LA. So Zingy is a result of passion for pets and geographic, what's going on here. And Zingy is the outcome right there.
And I also think there's a lot of pet companies in not only Southern California, but all along the West Coast. And like Toby said, it is just one jump from to all over the world. So I think opportunity in LA is abundant. So I think that's why we've all stayed there.
And then I'll also add, I think like for me, like seeing the diversity of pet parents here in Southern California has actually been very helpful for us. Just, you have your downtown LA pet parents, and then you have your Beverly Hills pet parents who are, maybe a little different, and Santa Monica. And then if I go to Orange County, it's a little bit different there too. And I think running the gamut of these pet parents has really allowed us to kind of get more well-rounded feedback for this startup, that we're working on right now. And and I think being in LA, again, that's just, I think LA is growing, and I will say, like when we first started this a couple of years ago, it was kind of also nice. It was easier to stand out, I would say, because in LA there, maybe more entertainment companies, and in a way you're kind of maybe a bigger fish in a smaller pond at the time. And now that pond is definitely growing, and it's, we have a little bit of a head start now. Yeah.
Yeah. I should shut down all of We Are LA Tech. Stop the growth. And where do you see your company going, Sean? Like, what are the next steps?
The next steps is to develop our technology into kiosk models within pet stores. So we want to take our concept that's online right now, physically onto, basically make an app and have it in store so people can customize in store and have it shipped directly to their house or back to the in store to not only help the customer but also to help kind of the wholesaler as well.
Yeah, and just to take a quick pause, everybody tuning in right now, can you guys throw out your Twitter handles real quick?
At Toby Scovron, my whole name.
At Pride
Or at Zingy?
At Zingy Pet. Probably more entertaining at Zingy Pet than Toby Scovron, to be honest.
Cool.
At Pride Bites.
And I'm at Petnostics.
Perfect. And we're having a discussion about pet tech. And so, and Stefan, what would the next steps be for you?
So we're actually working on some new products right now that will be a little bit more focused on pets with already existing conditions. And so there are a lot of pet parents who have to manage their pets' diabetes or pets with bladder stones. And so we're now creating products around those specific diseases, as well as complementary products. At the beginning, I mentioned if you have a UTI, there's cranberry treats. And so we're actually looking now into making, Petnostics cranberry treats because we want to be the end-to-end solution for, a pet parent when it comes to their pet's health.
I like that. So you're diagnosing the issue and then providing a solution.
Exactly.
Very cool.
I love
Very
it.
cool.
And Toby, next steps for Zingy?
We're here in Southern California. We opened up LA, Orange County, San Diego. We have 2 cities that we're going to open up in Q1 of next year. And then by the summer of next year, we'll be in hopefully every major metro market.
And if somebody wants to be a dog walker for Zingy, like somebody watching right now is like, that's really cool. I love dogs. Can I be a dog walker? What happens next?
You can apply. Whether or not you qualify is a whole different story.
Yeah, what's the process?
Yeah. So if you go to oneteam.zingypet.com, I'll put it in the chat in a minute, and just go through the application form. Our team will basically review your application and then take you the next steps with you. And then really it's all on you as to whether or not you pass your background check. We have quite a few people failing there. We've had nearly 6,000 people apply to become Zingy dog walkers.
Oh, wow.
And we have only 800 on the platform today. And we have 800 purely from a quality control perspective, not because we don't have the demand. We lost her?
Yep, I think she disappeared.
Uh-oh.
The host is gone?
Well, I guess we can run ourselves.
Yeah. So what do you guys have for lunch today?
Hey.
I am back. Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
How long was I frozen for? The process of how long does that process take once someone applies?
Yeah, so we have the slow part is the background check. Mm-hmm. That takes 2 business days.
Right.
However, you then have 16 modules that you have to do at the Zingy Academy. Mm-hmm. And so that can be smashed out within a day.
I love that you created an academy.
It's all about trust, right? And so you have to have the credibility. What I love about what we've done, and really I can't take all the credit because I have a phenomenal team that's behind me. What I love about what we've done is we've had over almost 6,000 people apply to become Zingy dog walkers.
Right.
Only 800 are live on the platform today, and every single walk we've done thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of walks. Every single walk has been rated 5 stars.
No, that's so. You'd high five.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I can't take responsibility, but I can definitely take pride in what we've done.
That's awesome.
Now, can someone do Zingy full time, or is it like a supplemental income?
We've got people doing both. We've got some real hustlers out there that go and grab every order that goes out to them.
Right.
And then we've got others that are just purely there for unwinding in the afternoons or evenings.
That's so cool.
And then we have moms that are dropping their kids to school or early school, kindergarten, whatever, and then doing a couple hours and then picking them up. And then we have a bunch of actors, and there's a real diversity there.
Awesome. And we have a couple more minutes. Sean, if you could ask the LA Tech community for anything, if you had one ask, is you could support the growth in this way, what would it be?
In the tech space? Using our product and giving feedback.
Place an order.
Yeah.
Oh, and placing orders, especially the holiday season.
Yeah. I know Sean and Stephen, his co-founder. Two solid guys. I'm really proud and excited for what they've done and how far they've come, because I knew them from just, hey, we've got this idea. What do you think?
Yeah, Toby knew us about 3 iterations of businesses ago, and he was a true mentor to us very early on. So you guys are
Toby's
doing very up there in the pet community. He's
So
very
we
humble,
connected.
but
And Sean, do you have any promotions for the holidays that everybody should know about?
I'll actually give everyone on We Are LA Tech our friends and family discount code.
Awesome.
It's just PB, like for Pride Bites,
Yeah.
FF, friends and family, PBFF.
Okay, cool. Love it. Love it. And Stefan, if you could ask the community for anything, what would you ask them for to support you in your growth?
I think, like Sean mentioned, but I think feedback's always great. I think just it's always helpful as an entrepreneur, when you're doing a startup, to just hear from the community and how you're doing, and new ideas, new products that that come to mind that they may have, and I think just hearing that always energizes me. So any feedback or suggestions would be greatly appreciated.
Definitely. And Toby, Zingy, any ask of the community?
Yeah, I just, I'd love for you to not only give us feedback, but use the service and tell us what we're doing wrong so that we can become better. I'm really proud of where we're at, obviously. And we have a phenomenal experience, but there's always this little gap just at the end that needs to be squashed.
Awesome.
So any feedback would be of high value to us.
And before we wrap up, one last time, as you guys know, this is the We Are LA Tech Blab weekly show where you get to meet amazing LA Tech startups. And one last thing, if you could tell everybody your URLs one more time if they're just tuning in. Sean, why don't you go ahead first?
www.pridebites.com.
Cool. Stefan?
www.petgnostics.com.
And Toby?
Zingypet.com.
Do you have any final words you want to tell this amazing, amazing community of hustlers here in Los Angeles?
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for doing this, Bree.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
Thanks so much.
Thanks,
See you guys.
So much.
Have a good one.
Cheers.
Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.